Good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning into the channel. My name is Viking Gamer, and I am pleased to announce that this is the very first video for this channel. So I love Minecraft, I really do. A lot of what I see on Minecraft is a lot of survival Let's Play, hardcore Let's Plays, and tutorial builds, but I don't really see a whole lot of creative Let's Plays, just people finding a seed and building worlds and showing how they go through the creative process of designing cities, kingdoms, things like that. So I thought it might be fun to start out the channel with that sort of gameplay. So here we are on Minecraft. I am just going to call it, you know what, let's call it Creative Let's Play. Alright, because this is creative, let's just go ahead and set it to peaceful since we're not worried about mobs or anything like that anyway. Seed. Okay, so I actually scouted out a seed earlier, and this is a really cool one that I'd like to share with everybody. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Alright, so let's create, and I'll show everybody around. Alright, so... oh, darn it, forgot one thing. Alright, we need coordinates on. There we go. So... oh, cool. We're actually not that far off. Fact. Yeah, this is it right here. Awesome. That saves us heaps of time. This is perfect. Okay, so when I was doing some scouting around, I thought this was a perfect place. This is a great location for just a small village. This is a small hilly area with a little tiny valley in the center, some trees. There's a ravine there, and over here, next to this village, there's another ravine. So what I'm thinking is that we're going to start by clearing out all these trees, doing a little bit of reshaping of the land, and this is where we're going to build a castle. So to build a castle, first thing we're going to need to do is clear out some of the trees. So let's go ahead and do that. So there's a lot of different ways to clear trees out of an area. Some people like to just go through and manually remove the trees. I have actually, in a lot of different Minecraft games and a couple of servers that I've played on with some friends, found that if you get access to one, a flint and steel striker is the easiest way to remove a section of trees without doing a whole ton of work. And you can also do this in survival mode, as long as you're willing to accept the fact that the flint and steel will probably not survive you doing this, because it does take quite a bit of durability. Like if I was on survival right now, there would be, you'd see the status of the durability just dropping like crazy. But as you can see, that clears out the trees really, really fast. Once the fire burns itself out, if there's any logs, like you just saw this one, the fire went out on the top log here. Like if that survived, you can just fly through and remove whatever's left. Now when I was scouting this out, I was doing it in a different world, and then I recreated it for this series. I made the mistake of still having mobs on, and there was a creeper in the area, and for anyone who does not know this, do not hit a creeper with flint and steel, they will immediately explode. I was halfway done with a wall. I decided to clear the trees on this side first, and then I started clearing the trees over there, and the wall led up to it. Accidentally lit a creeper on fire with the flint and steel, and the creeper exploded. and I lost a ton of work. Because unbeknownst to me, there was a second creeper, and I don't know how it happened. I don't know if he just decided that he was under attack, but he also exploded, and that did not really end well for the work that I was doing. So, alright, so I don't want to bore anyone with me just randomly clicking a whole bunch of stuff, so I am going to pause the video, and I will be back once everything is cleared out, and then we'll go from there. Alright, see you guys in a minute. Alright, and we are back. As you can see, the trees have been cleared out. So, let's see, how do we want to do this here? So, one thing I like doing when building an area is actually hate's a strong word. I dislike building just by leveling out a whole area and rebuilding on top of it. I don't think that looks overly great. I mean, if you're building like a modern city, that's a great way to do it. You know, you just like completely bulldoze all of the hills out of the way, flatten it out, and then build your city on top of it. But you know, the old medieval cities, they didn't really do that. Like for right here, some of the hills like this area here and maybe that little slight raised hill, they would maybe leave it, maybe till it down, but for the most part they would just build to the terrain of the land, to the contour. Predominantly they didn't have very easy iron. They wouldn't have a very easy way of clearing the land effectively, and it would just take a really long time. So a lot of times it was just easier and more cost effective to find an area that they could build on top of and just build there. So what I like doing is I will like take this area right here. This is a great spot for like a gateway or something like that. You can put towers on either side, things like that. So how do we want to do this? Wrong button. There we go. You know what? Let's use some wool. Where is it? Concrete. Smooth stone. Is it on this one? If you can't tell, it's been a little bit of time since I've played Minecraft. I recently started playing Skyrim again. Love Skyrim. I might end up doing a... There we go, wool. I might end up doing a Let's Play series for Skyrim as well, but that's going to be a little bit down the line. Like I said, first video, I'm still figuring out and getting used to all the recording and things like that, so... How do we want to do this? Alright, so... If there's a ravine there, there's probably going to be a mine there. There might be a mine in the other ravine, but... Alright, let's look at this. Let's look at this not through how we would do it, but how would an old civilization do this? This is a defensible position, so this would end up being a fort, maybe the original village, like protection from the wind, stuff like that. So if this is going to be a fort or a castle, this is an entrance and that's an entrance. So there would probably be a building here. Walls would... Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. So I will put walls on the crest of the hill, leading around, kind of like around this area here. Do some towers, probably on top of there, maybe here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put an entrance here and an entrance there. You know what? I think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to mark this out with some stone, with some wool. And I will be right back, and I'll go over my thought process with everyone, and yeah, and we'll go from there once it's all laid out. Okay, and we're back. So I did a little bit of clearing. So I took down this area here. I decided after laying out a couple of things that was just a little too rocky for what I was thinking of doing with this area, so I'll probably turn that into either a blacksmith or a stable going forward. I ended up closing off this area here, so each of these little round sections, let me just get some elevation here. So each of the round sections is going to end up being a tower. And then the walls sections, you can kind of see where they're laid out. I ended up putting a little beacon here. I've got one over there and one there. Now, here, let me just, I'll go to this one, it's closer. So it's just a very simple beacon. It says castle here, and then I put some campfires around it. That way, if I'm far enough away that the beacon light itself doesn't light up, I can kind of see the campfires, and it just kind of pops out on the landscape a little bit better. Once the building is mostly done, I'm gonna get rid of these. So, how do we want to do this? Alright, so we'll start with this tower here. So a while back when I started seriously getting into Minecraft building and things like that, I discovered a channel run by a guy named Juracraft. Now, if you guys haven't seen his videos, he does some amazing builds. He's insanely creative. I love his style, and I have been using his Highland Dwarf Scout Tower build for so long now that I have gotten to the point where my friends are jealous whenever we go into a realm and we just start building. Like, we start a new realm or anything like that, they just start gathering resources, and they'll just drop them on me and go, here, go build a tower over here so that we can get a base going. So that is what I'm gonna build here. So I'm gonna build some Highland Dwarf towers around the perimeter, and I've got a pretty decent wall design that I use, so I'll show you guys how I put that together. Now, a lot of times I will leave the base of the tower completely open, but I find, especially in survival mode, if I'm not going to use the base of the tower for something like a basement or anything like that, mobs, if I don't have a proper lighting, will spawn in there, and even if I do have proper lighting, if I'm not using that area, it tends to lag just a little bit, and that gets kind of annoying when rendering distance and things like that. So I'm just taking a moment and filling in all this area here. Alright, so that's going to be the platform for the first tower. Now, a lot of things can help your build along, especially if you're just looking for simple and easy ways. Let's get rid of all this here. Simple and easy ways to kind of spruce up the build, make it look a little bit nicer. So one thing I've found that works out really, really well, let's just grab a few things that we're going to need here. Let's grab the stone brick stairs, cobblestone stairs, we'll put those here. A few things that just really help make the build pop is, like, you take these right here and you replace them with stone bricks. So that gives the idea that this whole thing has been reinforced, so that the base of the tower doesn't quite look like it's just a pile of cobblestone. It's starting to get a little bit dark. time, set, day. There we go. Now we can all see again. And you can do this kind of at any point in the build. I like doing it as I am putting things together, just because then I don't have to worry about, oh shoot, did I go through and do that? Yes, I did, because I was doing it right from the start. And another thing I do is I had a friend who did a whole lot of build competitions with me. You know, we would both pick a seed, and we would have one map. So like we would get a map, and that was the area that we could build in. There was no increasing the size or anything like that. It was just, there's a map, there's the area you can build in. And we both built in the same area, and he would build a tower or a building or something like that, and it would just kind of be like this. Like if this was the foundation of the building, this is what was under it. And that's fine, but to me it always looks a little bit weird, because if it was a real, you know, city being built, that would be a very bad foundation. So I like to come through, and like this was originally one of these blocks right here, and I removed that and put in the cobblestone so it looks like the foundation has been built down into the ground. Now, of course, I'm not going to go any further than that down the mountain, but you know, it's a nice little visual aesthetic. Alright, so where were we? I got off on a tangent there. You know what, let's use some oak. You can use a couple of different kinds of wood and materials for this. I like using oak wood planks, and where did it go? The acacia is pretty nice, but we're going to use some, yeah, I think stripped dark oak. Maybe with my texture pack, the stripped spruce would be nicer. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, so that will do for the moment. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I am forgetting something. I need, not stairs, slabs. So I need some cobblestone slabs. I need some stone brick slabs. And I'm going to need some cobblestone walls. There we go. Alright, so like I was saying before, my friends get a little jealous of me when we play a realm together, and that's because I've built these towers so much. I have just about memorized where all the bricks need to go and how many of each one that I need. Now, if you ask me, hey, how many do you need of this, right off the top of your head, I will have absolutely no idea. But if I was playing with my friends right now and this was a survival game and they just handed me a whole bunch of stuff, I could tell them, okay, I'm going to need another 2 stacks of this, or I'm going to need another half a stack of that, you know, stuff like that. Alright, so that's good there. So now we are going to do this. There we go. My camera started wigging out on me a little bit, or my recorder. There we go. Got it working again. Alright, so let's see. Let's do this. Now normally this is where I would like put a stairway down or ladder or something like that, but since we don't really need that on this particular tower, we're just gonna keep that closed off. And this is where I'm realizing that I actually used the wrong bricks. Why does it keep doing that? So if you can't tell, my mouse likes to double click sometimes. Could also be that I'm still getting used to the mouse. My husband decided to surprise me. I did not know he was doing this. He bought me a brand new mouse and keyboard and headset so that I could do these recordings with them. And they arrived today, and he just installed them for me. And now I have to get used to a new mouse. I loved the old one. I keep telling him he does not have to get me stuff like this, but anyone who has a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife that loves to buy gifts to make the other person feel really, really special, you know how it is, especially when you're like, you don't have to do this, but they do it anyway. It's really, really thoughtful, but sometimes it gets a little interesting when you're trying to learn how to do stuff again. Alright, so anyways, enough of that, back to the build. So, this is going to be the first layer of the tower. So, we are going to use the stripped wood here. Now this is where you can have a little bit of creative fun with the build. I lost the stairs. They're there. With the build. So you can do a couple of different things. I like doing wooden stairs right here. But you can do cobblestone. You can do regular stone. It's whatever you feel like. Now, these are supposed to be windows. And you can do them with wood or stone or whatever. That is completely up to you. But I like to look at them as if they were like arrow slits for archers. So what I like to do sometimes is I will put the stairs like this. Now on the inside, that'll give this kind of view right here. But on the outside, it's not a very big window area to look out or to look into. So if you were playing this in like a survival mode and you had a bunch of archers out there like skeletons and things like that, and they were shooting at you, there's not a huge area for them to fire into, but as you can see, you've got a pretty decent field of fire here. And I keep clicking the wrong button. Let's just have a little bit of fun with this. Grab some arrows and a bow, and like, you know, you've got a pretty good window of fire right here. You know, you can hit a lot of different things from a very small area. And it's getting dark again. I'm typing too fast. There we go. And but if you were on the outside, you've got a very small space to fire through. Like if you were being shot at and you're trying to dodge around, like if you were playing in like a PvP server or something, you were trying to fire into one of these towers. With something like this, you know, you've got not a whole lot of area. I mean, I fired 6 shots and only 2 actually made it in. But you've got a huge area that you can fire at from the inside. So that's one thing that you can do. You know what, for the aesthetics of this one, I'm going to do it a little differently. Okay, I say that and then I change my mind immediately. So, yeah, we're going to just keep it like this. Have some arrow windows. we go. Alright. So now we need to put the roof in on here to go up to higher layers. Now, first thing we're going to do is cover these up. Alright, so now let's get rid of the bow and arrow. Need the cobblestone walls back, and we're going to need stone brick slabs back. And I'm sorry if this feels a little bit repetitive on all the placement of stuff. As the build continues, I can show a couple of different ways to alter the tower a little bit, to kind of give it a little bit something extra, a little bit something more than just being a hollow tower with not a whole lot else inside of it. Now, I will say, from personal experience, this tower makes a absolutely great survival tower. Like, if you can get the resources to build this and you're playing in a survival game, it is a really, really nice tower. I've done a couple of these where the interior, it has everything I need. Done with a couple of different spots for enchanting or potion making, things like that. And you can dig down into the ground from the basement to make like a mine and turn the basement into a smithing area. So there's just a ton of stuff that you can do. Alright, so we're gonna go up one more. Now, the thing I like about these towers in particular is the original design of it has one layer. It has the ground layer, then the first layer, then there's another layer, then there's another layer, and then there's the roof. But if you were building it in like a setting like this, like I'll build this one almost exactly like JaraCraft does it, but like that one right here, I will probably build a little bit differently, and same with this one. I'll probably make them a little bit shorter. And the easiest way to do that is just chop off the middle layer right here. So like instead of doing this extra layer here, I would, a little bit of lag, I would do the final layer and then the roof on top of that, just to make the tower a little bit shorter. Alright, so, you know what? I think to save time, I am going to pause the video here, and I'll come back once the tower is fully built. Alright everybody, we are back. So, as you can see, the tower is mostly finished. I added some lights inside just to kind of help give the visual its proper effect. So I made an entrance over here. Village trader. Apparently in passive, these guys still spawn. Did not know that. So, stair blocks leading in, and I just did a simple ladder leading up to the top here. So here on the base floor, I ended up going with inverted arrow slits here, so that you can step into them, shoot a little bit further down, and still have all the space needed to duck out of the way. And you'll see that kind of theme repeated up the tower. So right here you've got stairs here. There aren't any here for some reason. I completely forgot about that. Oh wait, no I didn't. I remember now. We need... Okay, so I like doing glass in these locations, but because this is supposed to be a military outpost, the heck are the iron bars? I am probably just barely missing where they are, and someone's probably going to be in the comments section going, they are right there. Yep, they are right there. So let's go iron bars. There we go. Now let's see if you can shoot through those. No, you cannot. Okay. Well, that's kind of annoying. Alright. But that's alright. So, up here, now these I am going to leave completely empty because I think that layer is going to be a nice spot to put a walkway at. So I'm thinking we'll do this. I don't know. Do you think cobblestone would look better with this or the stone brick? Like, I've been using the stone brick kind of as a visual for reinforcing the whole thing all the way up. You know what, let's go with it and see what it looks like at the end. Just real quick, gonna put these there. Okay. Actually, that was not supposed to break. There we go. Alright, let's see if this works out. Yeah, I think this will work. Okay. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. Alright, so yeah, this will work. So what we're gonna do, maybe we'll have to move that out a little bit, but for the moment it'll be alright. So what we're gonna do is just gonna put this here. Yeah. Yep. Darn it. Okay, so nah. Like that better. So we're gonna stick with what we had before. First YouTube video, and I am realizing that I do not give the creators on this platform nearly enough credit, because this is way more in-depth than I had originally thought. So like right now I'm trying to decide how I want this to look. Like, do I want it to look just like this and nothing else, so that it's just a little step out balcony? Or do I want to try and figure out a way to extend it even further so you can walk all the way around without it looking too extreme? You know what? I am going to do this. I will do this side as the step out balcony, and then I'll do the other side as the full wraparound. Make it look kind of like they built the tower to be able to walk in from the walls that are going to be along this area. And unfortunately, I don't want this video to be too ridiculously long on my first video, so we might get as far as finishing the tower and then work on the walls next time. And I'll probably build the rest of the towers off camera just to save some time. But if you guys would like to see a full video of me racking my brains to try and figure out a good way to build the tower, let me know in the comments section and I'll see what I can do on that regard. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I think, yeah, I'm probably going to end up having to do this. That was kind of weird. I said what I said, and then he just went, like he was responding to me. Don't backtalk me. I usually have a lot more patience for the villager shenanigans and the trader shenanigans and things like that, but I'm not sure at the moment. Keep breaking the wrong blocks. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, I think that'll work. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that trader is just having issues right now. Okay, is it just me or did he just say, uh-huh? That was so weird. Alright, so for this side, I think we'll go like this. Okay, he definitely said uh-huh that time, so I guess I'm just gonna leave it there. Villager approved. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And maybe next time I will change the rest of it to have the same setup. I don't know yet. But for now, I think that's gonna be good. And yeah, definitely don't want this video to be super long, so I think this is where I'm going to call it. You know what? Log out here. Alright. So, next time we come back, I will have the other towers built, and then we will build the walls connecting everything. Take it easy. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content, and all comments are appreciated. Bad comments will be completely ignored. Thank you, and have a nice day.